Hi, this video is a student guide for EmSAT for ADVETI students. I'm going to speak in English, but everything I say is in Arabic on the screen. The first video is about what is EmSAT, the test structure, the results you get, and the administration. What is EmSAT? EmSAT is the Emirates Standardized Test. It's an exam which places students in colleges and universities after their high school. There is an EmSAT for the English, Arabic, maths, and different sciences. But this video for ADVETI is for the English version only. So it's English for EmSAT. What is the structure of the test? So this is a screenshot of what the test looks like. You have different sections at the top. You have the name of the person doing the test. You have the time for the section. You have the number of the questions. Then you have the question itself. And at the bottom, you can click next or back depending on which way you want to go through the test. It's 2 hours in total, but there is a time for the section, and it's a computer-based test. The first section is called reading. Now, reading is not just reading, it's also grammar, vocabulary, there is sentence builder, there's a short reading, and there's a long reading. There are sometimes extra sections that they add and they remove, but usually it's these sections. For each one, there is more than one section. So grammar has maybe 4 sections. Vocabulary might have 4 sections. Then, after all those parts are finished, there is a writing section, and there is 1 question only in the writing. Just to be clear, there is no listening, there is no speaking in the EmSAT test. Here's some general advice for studying for the EmSAT. It's a very difficult exam. It's long and it's tiring. You need to be mentally prepared, but you also need to be physically prepared for the exam. Make sure before the exam you've had lots of sleep and you're well rested and you're ready to go. The exam tests all levels, so it's from the bottom level of English to the very highest level of English. So there are questions in the exam that are not for you at this level. Don't waste time on these questions. Go on to the next question, and if you have time, go back and check it. But don't feel worried, don't waste your time on questions you just can't answer. Move on to find the questions you can answer. If there is time remaining in a section, use it to relax. Get ready for the next section. Maybe you have 1 minute left, but that's 1 minute where you can just sit back on your chair, relax a little bit, take some breaths, have a drink of water, maybe stretch your fingers, do something rather than click to the next section. Just give yourself a chance to relax. You don't have to study an EmSAT preparation course in advance. You need to study general English and you need to improve your overall English level. Just making your English better will help. It doesn't have to be EmSAT practice, EmSAT practice. But you should do some practice of the EmSAT questions so that you are more familiar with how the questions work, how much time you have, how to remove answers. There's little things you can learn how to do. Please remember that the questions in the computer are random. So you don't have the same questions as the person next to you or in front or behind. So you don't need to look at their screen. They can't help you in this exam. If you need any information about the exam, there is a good website, emsat.moe.gov.ae, and that will help you with some information about the EmSAT. Just so you know, the language from the exam comes from a website called englishprofile.org, and this has lists of the words and the language that is used for EmSAT. Let's move on to results. Your results are from 0 to 2000. 2000 is the highest possible score. To get into ADVETI Diploma, it's 875. To get into Advanced Diploma, it's 1100. And GHQ students are looking to get 1000. You will receive a grade for each section. So reading, which was grammar, vocabulary, sentence builder, close, reading, all those sections are worth 75% of your score, whereas the writing section is worth 25%. So you put a lot of time and effort into the reading and it's worth 75, so the writing comes right at the end and it's worth quite a lot as well. So you need to know this as you're doing the exam so that you give it everything. If you don't write anything, your score is not going to be high. The reading is not calculated by a percentage of answers. The score is by the number of questions at a certain level. So if you get the lower level questions right, that will give you a certain score. If you get some of the higher questions right, it will push you up a bit more. So you need to be getting all those questions right for that level. The next section is often more difficult. So if you get some correct there, that will push you up above 1000. The writing score, they actually look at two writings together and they quickly decide which one is better. And it's quite easy to see, usually by how long it is, how well it starts, have they used spelling and punctuation. That's really quick and easy to tell. They put them in order and then the group of writings are looked at and marked to provide a level. Is this high level, middle level or low level? Here is some equivalent results. So EmSAT 1100 is like an IELTS 5 and we call it CEFA B1+. It's an intermediate level. Then we have down to 875, which is the same as IELTS 4, 4.5, and it's B1-. So all these students they're able to use English on their own. They don't need help too much. And they're able to study or maybe work in it. But it does not mean that they're able to teach or write long reports or things like this. So that's at a higher level. This is what we're looking for at ADVETI. Let's look at the administration for the test. ADVETI will help you to register for the EmSAT exam. But remember that registration may depend on your ADVETI exam results or your attendance. So we may not allow you to do the EmSAT. You must always bring your Emirates ID, Hawiyah, to the exam, and it needs to be on the table during the exam. The test ticket with the code is printed by ADVETI. You will receive it on the day and your Emirates ID is checked so that we know the right person is doing the exam. EmSAT exams use a special lockdown browser which is only on ADVETI computers. So you have to be using an ADVETI computer. There is a password on the day of the exam and only the examiners know this. Results usually take about 10 days and they're given to student services and the managers of the department. You can repeat the exam after 30 days and your results need to last 18 months. If you want to complain about your exam result, you need to have made it at the time. You can't make it about the result. You need to say there was an issue in that exam and I need that to be reported. Maybe it was a technical problem or something to do with the exam content itself. Okay. So that's the end of the video. Good luck.